G'day guys and welcome back to a new episode on the podcast. Yes, I haven't posted for a while, or anything related to the podcast really, and that's just because I need a break. This obviously this podcast for me, it's not a job, and it's obviously just a hobby. So I can't devote all of my time and effort towards this. I need to make money. I need to be able to live, especially when I got a speeding fine the other day. And I'm going out on the weekend, but that's for another day. No, but I think just towards the middle and the end. First off, hope everyone had a good Christmas or a good New Year's. I know I did. Hope you did as well. But yeah, I think towards the end of this year, I was posting consistently throughout the entire year, and only really started to miss a week or two towards the end. And I don't know, I just felt like I wasn't getting burnt out, but I think it was necessary for me to take a break, so I didn't. And I think towards the end I kind of forgot the reason as to why I was posting. I forgot what my main message was and what I wanted to get out of this and what I wanted people to get out of this podcast. And this is something I really enjoy doing, but I didn't want to make it a hassle for me. I didn't want to lose that kind of, drive and enjoyment that I get out of it. But yeah, it wasn't really until one of my best mates, Lockie, he came back from Perth and he visited because he was living in Perth for however long he was away for. I think it was most of the year. I think it was 8 or 9 months. And he came back to visit and he said, we were just talking about creating content because he also does YouTube content as well and Instagram content. And we were just talking about what we want to do in that sense and what we want to do in the future with all this stuff. And he just randomly said oh, I still remember what you said to me when you first started the podcast. And I was like, what did I even say? And he said, I don't care if 1 billion people listen to the podcast. If no one gets anything out of it, then it means nothing. And apparently I also said that I don't care if I have 5 consistent listeners or if I have 1 million. If those 5 people get something out of it, then that's worth my while. It's made everything worth it doing this podcast. Despite how much money I put into it and how much effort I put into it. If someone gets something out of it, then I've done a good job. And I guess I kind of forgot about that and that kind of idea. And I was stuck in, the kind of mindset of, I just have to get an episode out. Just one more week, just get another one out. Add an extra one onto this week. Just make sure you can hit that mark. And yeah, I don't know, I kind of just lost that mindset. And I think I need to just rekindle that a couple times, knowing that now. Yeah, but also towards the back end of this year and also midway through, I kind of not settled because I obviously don't want to just set myself into one specific spot and never be able to explore. But I've kind of got a good idea of what I want to keep posting about. A lot of this mindset stuff for me, and it's weird. I don't know how, I keep coming up with these random ideas about vulnerability or feeling lost. And it's literally just from me having conversations with my mates or just watching videos and people saying those words, and immediately I'm like, bang, there's an episode idea. I literally saw a video about someone and they said the words I am lost, and I was like, fuck, that's a great one. I've felt that. I know what that feels like. I can talk about that. And yeah, there's a lot of other scenarios where that just happens and I just think of those ideas. And I like that kind of concept. I like doing that kind of stuff. But I don't want to just set myself into just one niche because I think that's boring. And I think I'm too fucking young to be putting myself into a box and sitting in there. And there's so much I want to experiment in terms of content. Like, I keep saying this, like, I keep want to start posting about, like, fragrances because I'm obsessed with fragrances. And then I also want to do this thing where I'll just go out in public and have a sign put up of, I don't know, some, like, prompt, like, tell me a secret you've never told anyone, or what's something you're scared of, or, like, something like that. And I want to do, like, videos like that, or those public videos where it puts me into a scary spot, but also the person that's joining. And it's a great way for me to get out there and start, doing different stuff. But there's a lot of random stuff that I want to do. Like, I don't want to also keep putting out this image that I'm like this fucking health freak who just does nothing else but read and go to the gym and exercise and eat well. Like, I obviously go out and I have fun with my mates, and I don't just fucking... I'm not a monk. Like, I don't just do one thing and just, like, waste my time, I would say. I don't know. I don't want to put out that image that I'm just, like, a weirdo. I don't want to be weird. I like to be weird, but I don't want to be, like, stagnant. I think is the best way to put it. Stagnant and too, like, boring. But yeah, like, I'll be honest, like, the reason why I haven't been posting that much is because it's a lot of drinking and a lot of sitting outside and hanging out with my mates during summer. Like, Christmas Eve, went out, had Christmas, and then Boxing Day, and then the 3 days after, I was working all of those days, and then straight into BTV, and then came back, started working again, and then basically up to now, like, fucking summer's around the corner, I'm going away to the beach and then coming back, but I'm still going to be posting consistently. Like, I've got a couple episode ideas I can do down there. I'll probably do the classic, like, 1 drink equals 1K after run, because that shit's funny. But I'll probably do some shit like that, and then I just want to make it more fun and enjoyable, and also, like, not as serious. Like, a lot of my posts have just been, like, me doing clips, which obviously is the best way for me to get my podcast out there, but I also just want to expand, I guess, my brand. And I got really into the whole, like, PT side of things. Like, I was looking into doing my cert because I got offered a job for it, and that was $7,000, and I said fuck off, because that is ridiculous. $7,000 to be a PT. That was probably just the course that I wanted to do, but I think $7,000 to be a PT is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, like, I guess, like, through this whole, I think it was like a month or so I haven't posted, but there's been a few things that I guess have happened, and different thoughts and mindset shifts that I've had throughout this whole, I guess, period that I haven't posted. And I thought it'd be best for me to, share with you guys, and it's also best for me to share my morals, just so it reminds me, I guess. And all of these, like, they happen in the moment, and I immediately just whip out my phone and then just write them down. It's usually just thoughts of, like, random stuff. It's like shower thoughts kind of things. But the first one is, I become so much more appreciative of people I meet after the more bad people I meet. So the worse of a human I meet, the more understanding and appreciative I become of other people. And this happened to me after I got arced up by a junkie walking my dog. And it was literally just like a random evening. It was like 6 o'clock, and I was walking down my street, and I see this guy, like, pacing outside of a driveway, and I'm walking my dog, and I got my headphones in, and he stares at me, and I'm looking at him, and then he just mouths something. He's like, "Ah, nah, nah, nah." And I was like, what the fuck? And so I took my headphone out, and he looks at me again, and he goes, "I don't like dogs, mate." And I was like, righto. I didn't say anything. I just, like, stared at him and then pulled my headphone in and then kept walking. But then I double tapped my AirPod, and then so my music stopped so I can hear what he's saying. And I keep walking, and he's like walking behind me, and he's like mocking me. He's like, "Oh, I walk around with the dog. I walk around with the dog." And I was like, he was obviously on something. I was just like laughing. I was like, what the fuck? But then like in my head, I'm like playing in all these scenarios of like how I'm going to beat the shit out of him and like run away and all this stuff. And then I like stop and I turn around and he's like 15, 20 meters like just behind me. And we just have like a like I'm staring at him and he's staring at me for like 20 seconds straight. And I'm just like waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm like, fuck, okay, I better go. And then I keep walking and I get to the top of the street and then I just see him and he's just like, I can't do it because I'm in a chair, but like he's like squatting down, like looking at me. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just staring at him and then he turns around and starts walking back. And like in my head, I'm just like, fuck, you have to just be a horrible human to be like arcing up to some random kid walking their dog in the middle of the day. Like it's still like very bright outside. Like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like obviously he's put himself into that situation and he's obviously on something, but it's I don't know. And then like I'm walking home and I'm like, I'm ready to fucking hit something because I'm like there's so much adrenaline running through me and I'm just like so up and about. And then I'm walking back to my house and then this like lovely couple, these two girls like come over to me and they're like, oh my God, can I pet your dog? And then I just had this good chat with them for 10 minutes and I'm like, fuck, there are so many, I don't know, it's like when you meet shit people, you just become so much more appreciative of like the decent people and good people that you meet later on. And that's like one random thing that just happened. And immediately I got home and I was just like making a tea. And then I just thought of that, like when I meet shit people, I become so much more appreciative of not even like good people, like people that are just like not even normal. Normal's a fucking horrible way to put it, but even just people that are just not like, oh my God, they just aren't dickheads to you. Just like, oh, like he's a good guy. Like I can get it. And then I become so much more understanding of people. Like I work in retail. I get people yelling at me and getting mad at me, and I'm like, look, I get it. You probably had a long day, but you don't need to put it out on me. Like I just become so much more understanding of those people. I don't know, it helps me like read how people are and why they react that way, and makes me think more about why people are saying the things that they do to you. This one was low-key like a conversation in my head. It was from a Chris Williamson, from a Chris Williamson reel that he posted, and he said, I've already achieved goals that said would make me happy. And it just made me think, like, am I just going to be in this constant battle in my head where I'm fighting against my standards that I want to achieve that are constantly growing quicker than I can? And that stuff like really pisses me off. Like that's why, I don't know, like New Year's resolutions for me, I don't know, they just don't really, I don't know, like I always have goals that I want to achieve in a year, but it's weird. I don't know how to put it. Like I'll be honest, like I set some fucking ridiculous New Year's resolutions for myself this year that I did not even come close to, and I'll actually read them out because why not? I mean, that's what you guys are here for. You're not here for me to see me be fake and shit. So, I'm going to read out every single one that I put. I wanted to make $1,000 through personal branding in 1 week. Win my under-19s best and fairest for my footy club. Make 70 episodes on Spotify. Gain 50,000 followers across all social media platforms. Create any form of social media content with another creator that has a large following. I don't know why I ticked that because I didn't do it. Run a marathon. Plan a big charity run for one of my friends that passed away. Post 100 times on Instagram and TikTok. Play in a seniors game for my footy club. Play a seniors game with my cousin. Post 100 times on TikTok and post 100 times on Instagram. And out of those, 12, I did 5. So I wasn't even able to complete half of them. And 2 of those were very doable for me. Making 70 episodes and running a marathon. Like, I could definitely have done those. But I honestly was just too lazy, I think, and I wasn't smart with my planning. I should have mapped out how many episodes I should have been doing each week and all of that for the 70 episodes, and I should have started prepping for a marathon earlier than what I did, and I ended up getting injured. And then whilst I'm at it, I've made my 2026 goals because I think, like, I don't know, I have a weird thing with New Year's resolutions because I feel like people always, I guess, set goals that not aren't achievable, because most goals you set are actually achievable. It's about how hard you work, but most people, I guess, set goals that they aren't willing to do. But I think it's very important to not just set one goal. I think you should set multiple, so that when you don't achieve one, you have achieved another. Because then it just puts you down immediately. Like, your mindset is just stuffed when you don't achieve the first goal. That was really big, but you get one that was a little bit smaller, but you still achieved it. So you're still able to keep pushing forward. Again, 2026 goals, they're pretty similar to last year, but I don't know, I just want to try harder. Like, I don't know, it's something about, like, being 2 years out of school. I don't know what it is. It's just being, like, older. I don't know, I'm having, like, epiphanies and, like, existential crises. Like, I'm getting older and I'm never going to stop getting older. Why would I waste missed opportunities and wasted potential of something that I could do? That was so deep. But yeah, like, my goals for this year, and it's actually good for me to read them out. I know I'm stalling, I know I'm procrastinating, but it's good for me to get these out there and post about it now, because I can look back on this, and if I don't achieve these, or even if I do, I can compare it to me by the end of the year and see how successful my year was. But my goals for this year is to collaborate with another creator, no matter how big or small their following is. Read 5 books. Have 10 grand in my bank account by the end of the year. That's a big one. Reach 110 episodes on Spotify. Start posting about 2 different niches on social media. Save up for a new camera. Travel to a different country and post 200 plus times on Insta and TikTok, respectively. Those are my goals for this year. So that's an opportunity for me to reflect and, I guess, see how far I've come with that stuff. But yeah, those are my goals for this year. That's what I've been, thinking about a lot. Like I've said, I've completed goals from last year that I said I'd be proud of, but I just keep raising my standard, like, even before I'm able to complete them. This third one, it happened when I was at my mate's beach house, and me and my mate were meant to go out, and he ended up falling asleep and passing out because he was tired. And I was just talking to his mum and my mum, and they're like, "Oh, why don't you just go by yourself? Like, just go to the pub by yourself." And I was like, "No, like, I'm not that desperate for a beer, and I'm not going to do that, because I feel like a loser. I don't care what other people see me as, but I feel like a loser doing that." And she was like, "Fuck, we used to do that when we were younger." And I was like, "Really? Come on, let's not lie now." And she's like, "Yeah, like, we'll go. Like, we'll just go and talk to people." And I was like, "Yeah, well, people just don't do that nowadays." And then she just goes, "This is my thing with this. Like, if we had a 5-minute dissection of getting to know people and knowing how they are and why they are, like, reasons to why they have these actions and personalities and their traumas and everything about them, if we had a 5-minute dissection of them, we would be so much more understanding and friendly with other people. And she said that, and I was just like, oh my God. And it was just like so much for me to process. But it's so true. Like, that's why nowadays, like now, I just like, I'm very understanding, and I don't take things overly seriously, and I try to read people more. Like, if someone's angry at me, I'm like, okay, what's happened to them for this to build up? I'm not immediately like, oh, this bloke's a fuckwit. I'm like, okay, there's clearly been something happening. Like, just let them get it out. Like, I can cop it, alright, but I will also dish it back. And I'll also, like, try to talk to them after. Like, I'll try and understand. But yeah, I don't think people actually get to understand others enough. I don't think we try and understand why people operate that way, and why we are the way we are, and why our actions are for that reason. Like, no one ever, I guess thinks of that, or even wonders about that anymore. I don't know. This next one was, I actually said this in one of my episodes. There is a big difference between being open and being honest. Technically, nowadays, people are very open, but less honest. And people who are more honest are less open. Yeah, I think people lie a lot. Like, a shitload. People lie so much. And that's not even just in social media. People lie for their reputation. People lie to please you. People lie to get their own way. And it's very common. Some people even lie to protect you, but it's almost more damaging to lie to them than to tell them the truth and let them hurt now. I think I'm pretty open and honest. Like, I am very proud of that. I can confidently say that I'm pretty open with most people and very honest with them. Because, one, I hate the guilt of lying. And two, I think that it's actually, like, disrespectful to not be honest with, especially your best mates. Like, if you're not honest with your best mate, like, if your best mate looks like shit, I'm going to say, mate, you look like shit. Clean yourself up. Or if he's out of shape, I'm going to be like, mate, come on, let's go to the gym. Like, you need to start eating better. And I'll do what I can. Because I think it's disrespectful to, as a mate, say like, nah, you look fine. Like, you look good like that. It's almost like you want them to look worse than you. Like, you don't want them to be better than you. I would love for my friends to do so much better than me, and me be left, like, at rock bottom. But if they're doing really well, I'm so happy for them. That's how I feel about my mates. And I think everyone should feel that way about their friends. But some people are just too caught up in their own shit, and they don't have their shit sorted out. I don't have my shit sorted out either, but I know morally what I expect and want from friendships and relationships. This next one, I think I was at work. I think this was related to work, and my manager either asked me, I think it happened over a couple times, like, he asked me if I could stay back, or if I could work tomorrow, or if I could fill in a shift, or start earlier, start later, switch my breaks. And one time I was like, sorry, I can't stay back, I'm going to the pub, or sorry, I can't work this day, I said, sorry, I can't work these days because I'm going to a festival. And after that, I kind of, like, in my head, I said, fuck, being honest can get you to a lot of places and through a lot of situations. And then, like, you've never been rewarded by a cop or by the police by lying to them. You may have gotten away with it for a little bit, but eventually they're going to get you out on your lie. And you've never been rewarded for it. You might have just passed. And that was like my kind of, I don't know, like, this happens for a reason. Like, I now get more shifts because I'm very honest with what I'm doing and why I can't work with my manager. And it's like little stuff like that. Like, that's what I think honesty is like. It's fucking hard to come by now. Like, it makes no sense. It's so easy to do. Like, just be honest with people. But half the time, people just lie for the comfort of not having to deal with confrontation or having to, I don't know, deal with the stress of it. Sorry, that part cut out, but I said confrontation just in case that did cut out too early. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, for some reason, it's so hard to come by. And I think I get my honesty from my parents, obviously. I would get a lot of my personality traits from my parents and my best friends. But like my mum and dad, they've always like been very upfront and very blunt with me. Like my plan to go on exchange next year, my dad keeps telling me, he's like, mate, you really have to save up. You're broke. You need to save up. And I'm like, yeah, I know. And I keep just like putting it under the rug and not worrying about it. But in reality, I really do need to work more and save more money and all this stuff. Because that's why my dad's so big about that stuff, because he moved out when he was 18, started working full time when he was 16 and all that stuff. And then my mum's the exact same, but more so with, I don't know, not the financial side of my living, but more so the, I guess, social side of it. Like, if I'm seeing a girl, she's like, oh, what's she look like? What's she like? And after she meets her, or if she does meet a girl, sorry, never been in a long-term relationship, so if she does meet a girl, she'd be very honest. She'd be like, yeah, I'm not a fan. Or she'd say the classic, yeah, she's alright. And that means I don't like her. So I can read my mum as well. Like, I can read how they are. And the last one is, it's funny how some people are scared of showing affection to the people that they like because of the fear of their reaction, when in reality that is the true answer to their connection with you. So you aren't actually scared of the action, you're scared of receiving the answer you don't want. And this was just kind of a random one. I don't even know how this came up. This is actually not even that long ago, maybe a week ago, about a week ago that I wrote this one down. Yeah, I don't know. People are really scared of just like, I don't know, telling that their mates that they appreciate them, or thanking their mates, like genuinely thanking their mates for something that they wouldn't usually thank them for. Like, I don't know, like thanking them for staying with them on a night out, or thanking them for fucking, I don't even know what. But yeah, people, I guess nowadays, are just very scared of affection. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. I did not expect it to go over half an hour. I guess I needed a bit of a yearn to you guys because I haven't spoken to you guys for over a month. But that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are having a good break, good summer. As you can see, your boy's a bit tan. But yeah, I hope you guys had a good summer and are enjoying it right now. And I will see you guys next week.